আমাদের মাঝখানে উপস্থিত আছেন রামকৃষ্ণ মিশন বিবেকানন্দ এডুকেশনাল রিসার্চ ইনস্টিটিউট বেলুরের উপাচার্য অত্যন্ত সম্মানীয় স্বামী সর্বোত্তমানন্দজি মহারাজ। ওনার উপস্থিতিতে আমরা সত্যি সকলে ভীষণভাবে ধন্য। ওনার উপস্থিতি এই অনুষ্ঠানকে ভীষণভাবে আলোকিত করেছে। আমরা সত্যি উদ্গ্রীব ওনার থেকে কিছু শোনার জন্য। আমি খুব শিওর যে আমাদের স্টুডেন্টরাও, আমাদের ছাত্ররাও ভীষণভাবে উদ্গ্রীব, ভীষণভাবে উপকৃত হবে ওনার থেকে কিছু ইন্সপায়ারিং ওয়ার্ডস শোনার জন্য। স্যার, আপনি যদি একটু আসেন।
नमः श्री यतिराजाय विवेकानंद सूरये सच्चित सुखद स्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे। Good morning, dear students and respected Vice Chancellor, respected dignitaries present in the dais. I am very glad that I am here to address you students. Mainly this kind of lecture, this kind of topics that we discuss here, we only get very few chances to speak to the students. One in the induction program and probably another when you graduate during the convocation program. I will also not take much of your time, just as the other speakers, because so many speakers are there and the subject matter, actually the very profound things the speakers are saying, but probably you are getting bored, so you may not understand that these are very profound things because the speakers are telling about their views about education. I will also do the same, but I will not give you a lot of boring time. So I will try to be very conscious as very brief. So I will talk about mainly three things that I wish to tell. Every speakers have got few things to tell you. I also have got few things to tell you. So I will, in the beginning, I will tell you what I want to tell, and then I will try to justify. And in the end again, I will tell you. So first thing I want to tell you what I think that education is. So as I am from the Ramakrishna Mission, we have got certain idea of education which follows the vision of Swami Vivekananda. That is man-making, character-building education. So our educational institutions also put lot of emphasis in this character-building, man-making aspect. And I am actually very surprised to hear in this August gathering that many speakers have touched on this character-building aspect. Second thing is, which every educational expert talks about, that is knowledge acquisition and skill development. And third thing, which I will talk about, is scientific outlook. So these three things I will talk about. In fact, as a monk, this career and money making is the last thing that I will discuss. And that is allowed because I am a monk, so people even don't expect me to speak about those things. I only look about this education from the idealistic aspect. I am a computer scientist, so we engineers, and most of you are also in the professional engineering or science stream. So we engineers, whenever we take up any issues, we talk about three things: what, why, and then how. So we need to understand what, then why we should do that, and how we should do that. So when I am speaking about this man-making, character-building education or scientific outlook or knowledge acquisition, why a question comes? Though the students, they don't think about it too much. They have just come in the higher education, field of higher education. They have finished their school education. So they don't understand what is all education about? Generally, when we come from school education to higher education, the whole idea of education for the students, it has to change. Though for many of us, it is just a glorified school education. In the school education, mainly, I will just tell you briefly. So what, in our pedagogy, like education methods, this is called pedagogy. So in pedagogy, we try to understand what is the purpose of school education, what is the purpose of college education, university education. School education is for all-round development. So in school education, generally in many countries, it is compulsory because we think that all-round development has to be there for each and every citizen of the nation. So that is why you will see that in schools you have history, civics, science, social sciences, language, and also sports, cultural, and few other things, few other skill development. So, skills are also taught. So it is actually all-round development. But when you come to higher education, you start having specializations. And another aspect of higher education is that it is not compulsory. You have chosen to undergo higher education. In school education, because it is compulsory, the onus is on the society, onus is on the teachers to teach you. So that is why the responsibility of teacher is only to cover the syllabus, and their responsibility is there whether you understand or not. But when you come to higher education, students don't understand, and sometimes even us teachers also do not understand. That the onus of understanding is now on the students. Now you have to take your education in your own hands. You have to choose what you want to learn, you want to choose what your career be, and you want to choose what are the skills that you want to develop. And here, because you have chosen the path of higher education yourself, the responsibility of learning is on you. So that is why in school we call teachers, and in college we call teachers lecturers, readers, professors. So they have to, for example, when you call lecturer, his job is only to lecture. Understanding has to be done by the students. Reader, he has to read everything. Professor, he professes, he claims, like a PhD, he has some claims to make about the subject. So only the responsibility for lecturers, readers, professors is to know the subject thoroughly. Teachers in school, they only need to know about the syllabus, only need to know about whatever is there in the book. In college, in university, the teachers have to know everything about whole of the subject. And they need not even follow a book. But the onus of understanding is on the students. That students have to understand. So that means they have to put lot more effort in learning things. So that is why there is the students, because they have themselves chosen to come into higher education, they have to put extra effort. Some of the speakers, they talked about this hard-working aspect. So hard-working and perseverance is much more important for the students of colleges and university than the school. I come to the what is education topic that I spoke of in the beginning. We follow educational policy that is derived from the vision of educational vision of Swami Vivekananda, because most of you are Bengalis, so Swami Vivekananda is a local Calcutta boy. So that is why you must have read about Swami Vivekananda. He said that education is the manifestation of perfection already in man. And the second lies, religion is the manifestation of divinity already in man. We are talking about education. So education is the perfection already in man. So there are some hidden truths or hidden statements that are hidden between the lines. What Swamiji meant was that because we have got infinite potential, we have got infinite life. And that manifestation is the goal of the education. See, when we have short-term goals like career, making money, what we mean by education is different. And when we have long-term goals, see, the learner has got infinite potential, infinite life. So these short-term goals do not hold too much attraction to us then. And whenever we talk about this long-term, infinite life, the goal of education is much different and much higher. So that is why we can justify that the goal of education is not actually our finances, our making money, our careers. It is actually transformation. It is transformation at the global level, which actually we see. See, over the 1,000 years, whatever global transformation has taken place, what is which component you can give most credit? It is actually the education of people, education of masses. Because of education of masses, there is this global transformation of the world, whole world. The politics, society, economics, everything has changed. Medical technology, our normal engineering technology, sciences, everything has changed. And you must say that we must, not just you, we all of us, we can accept this, that this change has been brought because of the mass education. So this, whenever education, when we talk of long term, you will see that the goal of education is this global transformation, national transformation, and this what we call personal transformation also. You say, no, our personal life is very small. But if you consider that your see, we believe in Vedanta. Vedanta says that the Atma is immortal. So we have got this immortal life. And when we have got immortal life, this infinite development, possibility of infinite development is there, and we have to work for that. And we believe that any kind of education, it is cumulative in different lives. So that is why whatever we do in this life, it carries over to next life and carries over to further lives. That is why you see Thakur said that Javat Bachi Tavat Shiki. You might have known this. So if it was not true, then why we should learn whole life? Only during the student life we should learn, and after that we can stop learning. In fact, most people do that. So once their student life is over, they stop learning. In fact, that is one thing I want to point you, the second aspect. First aspect is this character building I wanted to justify, and we can justify it by saying that no, because our life is infinite, our potential is infinite, we cannot have this very short-term and small-minded goals. Money is important, but we have to put that in a proper perspective. We should not give it more importance than what is required. It is only a basic and very small thing that is needed in our life. And this actually the students will not understand because they are very young. People who are very old, they will understand after 50, 60 years, there are many other things in life. Our relations with our friendships, our friends, and our work environment. In our home environment, how we live, whether peace is there or not. Because most of the unhappiness, it does not come from very far. It comes from very near to us, from our neighborhood, in our family, our relatives, our spouses, children, parents. The most of the unhappiness that comes from our near and dear relationships. So that is why we understand after some age that there are many more things like peace and happiness, which is much more important than the money. And you will understand later that money may not necessarily give you happiness and peace. So that is why there are other things that I am talking about which are actually more important than career and money. And unfortunately and surprising also, because very few people when they are young, they understand this. If they understand this early in their life, I think their life will be more peaceful and they will be more happy. So these things, the other aspect of the other goals of education, other goals of generally other things, many things, that we have to understand. That is why this goal of education I am telling you. And with this, when we understand the goal of education, that is whole transformative aspect, then we understand that transformative aspect has to brought in our own life. That is why this Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya Swamiji said that this education is needed for Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya. So it is for the personal development as well as the global development, society development. You may wonder why this society development is needed, because there is a certain sense of unity between us and the world. So we are, if we are infinite, world is also infinite. We are, our progress is tied with the progress with the world. Our happiness, it is tied with the happiness of the world. So that is why this Atmano Mokshartham Jagadhitaya, many people have talked about this social responsibility. But I think this social responsibility is not just give and take. It is because of the inherent unity. So we are united with this world. That is why our goal of our self-development is also tied with the development of the world. So this aspect of the social responsibility is inbuilt in the character building aspect. Second thing I talked about was this knowledge acquisition and skill development. You have just come in the institute in your undergraduate program, PG program. Undergraduate program mainly I will address in this aspect, because the PG students, they might also already they have heard about these things. So this knowledge acquisition and skill development, generally for education nowadays in the professional education field, we distinguish between these two, like science, MSc physics, chemistry, mathematics. They are more of the knowledge acquisition type, and engineer, doctors, management, these are more about the skill development aspect. Both are important, because you see, when I talked about first, I talked about what, why and how. How is also very important, because what and why is just theoretical aspect. Swamiji said that an ounce of practice is better than a ton of theory. So this skill development aspect is what is the practical aspect. See, in our engineering and medicine and all the practical, all the professional fields, this completion of work is very important. Just knowing the subject is not enough. See, for example, when you build a Howrah bridge, just knowing how to build a bridge is not enough. You have to deliver a bridge. And the partial work is also not enough. See, I am in Bengal for last 26, 27 years. See, our people, they have a lot of fantastic ideas. And a lot of initiative also they have. But I call it finitiative. They don't have finitiative. So initiative they have, but they are not able to finish things, whatever they start. So in fact, it is not just the problem of Bengal. See, whole of the India, this engineering aspect is weak. I am from IIT Kanpur, so I understand this. In fact, I was born in Bhilai. So I saw that in Bhilai, people have more engineering attitude than the students in IIT Kanpur. Because you see, IIT JEE, how the students are selected. See, they are all very studious type of students. All the time they are studying. They don't have hands-on experience in anything. They don't, possibly they don't go even to the markets to purchase things. Parents will say, "बेटा तू पढ़, बेटा and बेटी तू पढ़, तुझे कुछ काम करना नहीं है, पढ़ते रह, तेरे को बस IIT JEE क्लियर करना है, क्लियर करके बस तेरी जिंदगी बन जाएगी." So that is why you will see that the students who come to the IIT, they are not very practical in the engineering aspect, and they are more interested in theory. Many of our dignitaries, they might have experience with the IIT students, so they might or might not, I don't know, because some of the IIT students, they are in spite of the society, they do develop engineering attitude, but the percentage that we want students to develop this engineering attitude, it is very less. In fact, one of the speakers talked about, Professor Das probably, he talked about this curiosity. I forgot who talked about, or Professor Bhattacharya talked about this, curiosity. So this engineering and scientific attitude, you are all professional students, most of you. So this engineering and scientific attitude that we lack, actually we lack. So we have to get this. Somehow we have to get it. It's missing in our school curriculum, school system. And the teachers, they don't try to inculcate this scientific and engineering attitude, but we have to do this in our educational institutes. See, many times, I'm as I said, I am from the science background. So many things that I learned in school, actually they were clearly wrong things. So in fact, when we are taught Newton's gravitational law, we are not taught that it is just an approximation, and really the Einsteinian theory of spatial theory of relativity, which is correct, or even things about a black hole, speed of light, etc. A lot of wrong concepts are taught in the school. I am talking about my own experience. So if I may extrapolate, I may think that in all the other schools also, same kind of misconceptions are actually taught. Probably the teachers themselves do not know. So this scientific, and see, not knowing things is okay, fine, because I am also ignorant of many things. But the lack of the scientific attitude, that is what I think it is problematic. Ignorance is not a problem, but the lack of motivation, lack of dedication, lack of hard working, lack of attitude, I think that is very important. So I ask students, rather than, Swamiji also said, this rather than the facts that are there in our education system, we should try more to have developed concentration. So I rephrase it. I say that we have to have changed the attitude towards knowledge, attitudes towards science, attitude towards everything. Because you see, science, it's not just a subject, it's a way of life. Like for example, Vedanta also we say, it's not just a subject, it's not a system of knowledge, it is actually a way of life. Science is also same thing. Possibly what I am saying, you may not find it very significant, but science is not just a system of knowledge, it is a way of life. It's a whole attitude, how we look at the things, and how we do things, and how we decide for our future, what our goals are. Everything is a way of our life, and it's science when it does that, it's also is a way of life. And how we should do that, actually this what, why and how. So naturally, in Bhagavad Gita it is said, Abhyasena tu kaunteya vairagena cha grihate. These 2 years of life, you have to work with full dedication and motivation. There is no other way, no other shortcut for this knowledge acquisition, skill development, or even character building. So you have to put your wholehearted effort in learning skills and learning and knowledge acquisition. Last point I will add, and then I will finish my speech. So one thing also I wish to tell you about that we lack in our colleges, actually a couple of things. So that is this moral, ethical education. So this character building aspect, though our UGC, it has added this universal human values course in the curriculum. So probably your college will also in few years time, that is in our national education policy. So in possibly in your university education, this universal human values will be taught. And I say that though it will be a mandatory, and I know that students will not give much importance to that, but I say that you should give a lot of importance to the subject and also to your health, develop some sports like your liking to sports and liking for culture. So when you are in college, you should not forget about this all-round development. So you have to have this moral building and then sports aspect and as well as cultural aspect you should take care of. With this, I will just remind you what I said in the beginning. So three things I say that you should do that you should do is one is character building while you are in educational institute. And then second thing is lifelong learning and knowledge acquisition. You should develop love for knowledge. You should not think that knowledge is a means to achieve something, like means to have a good career, but you should have a develop independent love of knowledge. And third thing that I wish to tell you is to develop the scientific end. With this, I will finish my speech. Thank you very much. Om Shanti Shanti.